Over this past weekend, I traveled to Atlanta, Georgia for Momocon 2023, an anime and gaming convention. While I was there, I wanted to finally experience 404 Esports, Georgia's most prestigious local. This is part 2 in a series where I travel to, review, and give you a behind-the-scenes look at what the event and the players that go to it are actually like.
I fight the Legion players all the time that try to do different shit and claims to say, oh, I'm so different.
Of course, big thank you to 404 for allowing me to film. Be sure to follow them on all of their socials. You won't want to miss any of their future events. Anyways, I hope you enjoy the ride. Momocon was a relatively last-minute decision for me, so when I decided to attend the event, there was only a few days to get ready. When I had finally tried registering for the pre-local, it was already fully capped out. The only thing I could try to do was get on the waiting list and hope I could make it in the bracket.
First time going to 404, super excited. Let's go, shall we?
Don't be like me and wait so long. Your TOs will hate you. Regardless of what happened, I wanted to record a video on 404, so I hopped in the whip and made my way to the event, hoping that I could actually get in the bracket. Thankfully, I was one of the first people in the door, so I was first on the wait list. I decided to grind out some friendlies with Jazzo for a bit. I still found some time to do a spot of fishing in Animal Crossing while I waited. So I was able to get in the bracket, which is awesome. However, Wave B was supposed to start at 8:30, and it's like currently around 9:30-ish. It is what it is. It's actually a one-man TO job. I think the dude's name is Roshi. He's doing a great job. It's really surprising that he's maintaining, this entire scene, this entire local 128-man bracket just by himself. So big props to him. But side effect of that is, of course, it's running a bit late already. Feels like a 2 a.m.er. I'm in for the long haul. Just won my round 1. The crowd was super rowdy. Not the crowd, there was one guy. I will say this, man, I feel right at home, if nothing else. With the rowdy crowd, it's just like Florida. So, yeah. After more people started showing up, the vibes were so similar to Florida. At some point, the only way I could distinguish it being Georgia was the venue itself. I felt very comfortable in this environment.
It was really scary. I dared him like 4 or 5 times, which is like the only reason I won. Shikana, he's good, man. Up and coming Bowser. Or well, not really up and coming, but he's solid, bro.
And of course, the crowd during the matches was insane as well. As with my last local review, I really wanted to interview some integral members to Georgia's community and get their thoughts as to what makes being a Georgia player so special. What's your tag and who do you main?
My tag is Jazzo and I main Ken.
My tag is Trout and I play Bayonetta.
I'm Peaser and I main Samus.
My tag is Sakana and I main Bowser.
How long have you been playing Smash Bros?
Since like the end of Smash 4, so I'd say like late 2018.
I've been playing Smash for like ever since like the original 64, but like at the same time I've only played competitive for 2 years. 4-4 was my first tournament, and that's the first time I actually won.
Wow, that's impressive.
Since about early 2019, so around when Ultimate came out.
I've been playing Smash since the 3DS one came out, but I started going to tournaments at the beginning of 2018.
What does living in Georgia mean to you?
It's just a really tight-knit group of guys. Like, everyone's super friendly with each other. Everyone's always trying to build each other up, make sure everyone's trying to get better. It's just a scene that it's a lot about just building each other up and trying to be the strongest we can be.
That's an interesting question. I just know it's a lot of fun. I love the energy. I love the scene. And I'm probably never going to leave. Like, even for college, I told myself I wasn't going to go out of state. This is my second home, and I can never really abandon it. So
I'd say that it's a way for me to get out of my comfort zone, because like I came here because I wanted something different. Like, I wanted to go out, explore the world. So
do you like it more than Texas?
A lot of people that'd be angry at me no matter what answer I say, dude.
Let's get one.
It literally depends where I am at the time, dude. Like, who I'm talking to more, Like, that's the scene I feel more close to.
The state, it doesn't really interest me, but Georgia Smash, we're just a completely different breed of people. We're the biggest shitters, the biggest aggressors, and the biggest campers you ever see in the United States. It's absolute hell, and I low-key love it. Call me a narcissist, but I love playing. I love hanging out with these guys.
Do you have a most memorable experience at 404?
I think that my biggest memory is Cards Basement, though, which was like this super regional held February last year. And I like popped off, beat Fatality, Vendetta, reverse 3-0'd Cola, and then he fucked me up in Grands.
This was actually my first time going to a regional and getting a top 8. Like it was during Cards Basement, and then I had beaten Zamba. This was after I had did an early pop-up on Zamba, if you knew about that.
Yeah.
I think it's gonna be when I won my very first one over Omega. It was like coming out of quarantine, like I had just grinded all this Wi-Fi, no one knew who I was, and I just somehow won the bracket as like this complete nobody, and everyone was like, wow, who is this kid? Why is he beating our top players?
Probably the Choryu versus Apollo first to 5, all the way back in 2019. It was a pretty funny set, first of all. Apollo died to a dash attack at 77 from mid-stage, and everyone still clowns him for it. But also because there was beef behind it, and everybody showed out. It was a fun set. And then we were all ignorant after, as we are, so.
Do you have any goals for the future with Smash?
I just kind of view it as like a self-improvement sport, so I want to be the best player I think I can be, and I don't think I want to quit doing this until I feel like I've reached my full potential.
Love that answer. All right, thank you.
Yeah, no problem, man.
Well, that is the first time I've ever got doubly limbed by fucking Wii Fit trainer. I definitely got outplayed both times, but bad matchup, real bad matchup. That's why we're working on the cloud. Oh man, it's midnight, dude. I don't even think that was like top 8. Pretty sure that was like top, I think that was like for 13th or something. I keep coming back from these tournaments at like 1:30 a.m. and this is too much for me, dude. Like I said a bunch of times, Georgia is like really similar to Florida in terms of like the energy. So it felt like kind of playing in an environment that I'm like really used to. A couple things I thought were off. One, the venue fee was $10, and the pot bonus, or the pot, right, was $5 for a total of $15 to enter, which is I'm not sure if that's like standard anymore. Back when I used to go to locals a lot, like it would always be like 5-5 or whatever. So that was interesting. Tournament obviously ran like really like late, super late, especially given the amount of setups there were and stuff. But it was Roshi. It was basically him just solo TOing the whole thing, which was, really impressive. So, can't really give him much flack for that. I also saw that he tweeted that it's the most amount of entrants he's ever had at a local, which was really cool. Really glad I got to capture some of the energy of the competitors, and the spectators. It was a lot, man. It was a lot, and it was cool. There wasn't really much to do in that area, but overall I enjoyed it. I do feel like more like a tight, sense of like camaraderie, kind of like Florida's scene, where everybody seems to be friends, like everybody knows each other, which is super cool. I do think that like Georgia's even more wild than Florida, which is kind of interesting, considering Florida would always have that reputation of being like super obnoxious or loud or whatever. I'm really glad that I got to experience 404 finally. Super legendary venue, super awesome tournaments. Other than that, gonna try and do way better at Momocon this weekend. And I gotta go sleep for that, so goodbye. Goodbye, everyone.
Of course, I really hope that you enjoyed this video. I can't recommend the local enough if you were in the Georgia area. It was a fantastic time and a very welcoming scene. Drop a sub if you really enjoyed, check out part 1 if you haven't, and let me know where I should travel to next. Thanks.